Good evening, friends. Welcome to online medico legal lecture series organized by Pixie Medico Legal. And today's topic is dilemma on broad dead cases. Since long, this topic is discussed in so many conferences, but still 95% of healthcare professionals are not fundamentally clear. Doctors always remain in dilemma when broad dead cases arise in a clinic or hospital, as it is always like a mystery man, like in suspense thriller. So now, what is broad dead cases? Broad dead means a person who is delivered to a medical facility after death has already occurred. Means he or she is not on arrival. So, question is, how will you define that death has already occurred? Apart from the absent vitals like no pulse, no respiration, no BP, other signs like dilated pupils, rigor mortis, etc. should be elicited. One must not forget to take ECG, as it is one of the most documentary evidence apart from other signs of death. And remember, take the Xerox copy of ECG because instances are there where after some times ink of ECG graph fade away and you will not find anything and you will find only blank paper. So, Xerox will preserve your ECG findings. Regular maintenance of ECG also must, and if timer is there, check that ECG is showing right time or not, because the wrong time on ECG may trouble you. So when a person brought to medical facility in dying or dead condition by the accompanying person, and accompanying person always in worried condition and obviously ask doctor jaldi kuch karo, jaldi kuch kijiye. So in such cases, whether CPR to be done or not, as it is life-saving procedure. And my answer is always yes. Because in immediate death, you can know the exact time of the death. You don't know the exact time of death. Second, there may be a condition of suspended animation. So, now what is suspended animation? In suspended animation, the signs of life are not found as functions are impaired for some time or reduced to a minimum. And CPR is most effective in such condition and patient may revive. So many instances are there after 1 hour of CPR, patient revived. And some instances are there. In other end, sometimes you read in the newspaper that so and so person revived in funeral homes and alleging incompetency doctors. In that condition, doctor may face problem. So, before declaring death, doctors should take proper measure to ensure death of a person. Now, coming to the most crucial part of the documentation of death is certifying death and issue death certificate. First we'll discuss how to write the death certificate. All doctors should write a death certificate in a prescribed form published by government of Gujarat or government of India, that is Form 4 for institutional death and Form 4A for non-institutional death. That means Form 4 to be filled for the death occurred in the hospital and the Form 4A to be filled in the case of death at home. Now, how to fill this form? First, write general particular like name, age, sex, address. You will say this is the routine, but this is routine, but it should be write very meticulously. And also ensure that spelling is correct. While writing the name, doctor must use Aadhaar card or passport to prevent any mistake while writing the names and age of the deceased person. So, write the name as per the Aadhaar card or passport in case of foreign national. Name and age are both equally important as a cause of death. After death of a person, there are issues like property claims or any claim like movable, removable property like house, office, land, money, gold, silver, shares, mutual fund, etc. etc. That certificate is also important in bank account to transfer money to nominee also. So, write the gender particularly very meticulously and very correctly to prevent the future any any problem to doctors as well as the patient's relative or deceased relatives also. Now question is what to write in case of the unidentified bodies. Body is not identified, there is no name. In such cases, doctor can write unknown male or female, but in such cases, police intimation is mandatory. Doctors should take photograph of whole body so relative of dead person can identify the dead person by photo and clothes. So whenever in future relatives are found by observing the photo or by seeing the photo, one can identify the dead person. And also to mention the two identification marks of a dead person in case. Now, another important point in death certificate is date and time of death. Why? Because as many a time criminal activities like wrong financial transaction, registration of property, pension withdrawal, making false will after death of a person may happen. So mentioning a time and death of a person or deceased person is necessary to solve the post-death criminal activities in the name of already dead person. So here the date and time of dead person is also important apart from general particular of the dead person. Now coming to the most important ingredient of the death, that is death certificate, that is cause of death. So as per the MCCD, doctor has to mention the primary cause, antecedent cause means associated illness responsible for the death. When a person brought dead or cause of death cannot be ruled out, then mention the cap pending for further investigation in death certificate, and body is to be sent for the postmortem examination. So inform police and hand over body to police. And remember, don't forget to take signature of police person while hand over the body to the police. Whole year, I am getting so many calls from the doctors and healthcare regarding the brought dead cases, where relatives are reluctant for the postmortem examination. Every time relatives are not ready for the postmortem exams. So doctors are always confused because one side the law insists for postmortem examination, and other side relatives are not at all willing. For postmortem examination, in such scenario, there will be a unnecessary chaos between doctors and relatives. So what is the solution? What is the solution? My simple answer is counseling. Everyone knows that in so many diseases like end-stage disease, terminal illness disease, or apart from this disease, other diseases are there. Their first step of treatment is reassurance. Likewise, counseling is the most important part in such scenario when the relatives are not ready for the postmortem examination of deceased person. So, first assure the relatives. Is your relatives that is necessary requirement by the law. First, as your relative that is it is a necessary requirement by law. One more thing, that most of the relatives are not willing for postmortem examination because of police intervention only. Relatives afraid that they will be dragged in the unnecessary in police inquiry. So assure them that this is not police case or FIR, but this is only a police proceeding. Right? After proceeding, if police reach to the conclusion that death was unnatural, then police lodge the FIR against the accused person, not on relatives. So doing postmortem examination is actually justice to the dead person. Third, cause of death is prime requirement for setting any claim related to life insurance. So, some life insurance policies are based on the accident or maybe on the work-related policy. Even nowadays, home loans are insured, in which there are specific exclusion for some events like poisoning, suicide, etc. etc. So many events are there. So, certificate mentioning the cause of death, it is very, very important to rule out such scenario or to solve such life insurance policy trouble. So in summary, police intimation and postmortem examination in fact beneficial to the relative also. After counseling, so many times, relatives are even not agree for postmortem examination, even though doctor has to inform the police as a part of his duty towards the law. Why? Because as per the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita section 211, whoever being legally bound to give any notice or to furnish information to public servant on any subject and omits to find such information in the manner and at the time required by the law shall be punishment with imprisonment or fine. So, intimation to the police is a statutory requirement by law, and that obligation lies on hospital, means RMO, consulting doctor and medical superintendent of the hospital also. So, all are liable and police may lodge FIR against them if they fail to do same. So many hospitals are taking non-MLC. It is no purpose, no meaning. Actually, it is illegal. So be cautious of any MLC, including broad dead cases and intimate the patient without fail. Now all will be worry and very stressed. If all the broad dead cases are to be treated as a MLC and doing postmortem exam, then practically all broad dead cases are to be sent to the postmortem examination. Then again my question is, my answer is yes. But in some situation like end-stage disease like cancer, renal failure, liver failure, where terminal illness are treated palliatively and person dies, relative call the doctor and ask for the doctors. Doctor can give death certificate if he was treating the patient and know the cause of death, provided that there is no foul play is suspected. So burden of proof again lies on a doctor to prove that person was died due to condition what he wrote in the death certificate, and that is not natural or not unnatural, or it may be unnatural, then he have to inform the police. So in summary, when broad dead the case is coming to the hospital, doctor doesn't know the cause of death. So to know the cause of death, only way is to do postmortem examination only. Sometimes more challenging situation arises, like before you inform to the relative, they take away the body from the hospital forcefully. So don't worry, inform the police about the case and also inform the police that relatives taken away the body forcefully. But one thumb rule to be set in your hospital or clinic: when any broad dead person arrives in the hospital, resuscitation and primary treatment is most and foremost responsibility. But along with this, engage one staff to take the general particular like name, age, sex, address from the accompanying person. So you can at least give details of the broad dead person to police person. CCTV footage is nowadays mandatory, provided patient privacy should not be violated. So now coming to some myths and facts about the broad death or death certificates. Number 1. In death certificates, many doctors are only writing cardiorespiratory arrest. Listen carefully. Cardiorespiratory arrest is only a terminal event, not the cause of death. We have to give cause of death certificate as per the guidelines given by the government, that in the form 4 and form 4A. If you are not able to give death certificate as per the guideline given by the government, straight away send the body for the postmortem examination. Second, non-MLC consults. So many hospitals and doctors doing this practice. Non-MLC consent, there is no meaning of taking non-MLC consent. In fact, it proves that you intentionally hide the crime, because you yourself declare that this is a medical legal case, and you are, after knowing that this is medical legal cases, you intentionally fail to inform the incident to the police. So it will make more trouble for doctors for not informing the police as well as taking non-MLC consents. Third, so many doctors are writing in the reports and case sheets that not for medical medical legal purpose. In certificate they are also writing. Again, writing this is of no meaning. Every document is legal once it is produced in the police or court. So writing not for medical legal purpose is of no meaning. So I think it is enough to discuss about the broad debt to have a clear idea about the legality of the broad debt cases. There are so many instances is there, so many explanations are there, so many details are there. So we can discuss in subsequent lectures also. You can subscribe our YouTube channel Pixie Medico Legal to watch the video on other medico legal topics. You can also take and have our online or our helpline number provided in the screen for more information. So that's enough for today. Thanks and good night. Thanks a lot.